Never settle. Do not settle in anything, in any aspect of your life. Never settle. Just because it feels that the thing you're looking for, the thing you're seeking, the thing you want might not be coming your way, or you don't know how long until you have access to that thing. Never settle. Don't settle for something else if it's not the thing you want. So, part of this journal entry that I wrote is don't settle. Never settle just because you think that what you want won't come. This is where you have to be patient and understand that what you want and what you will work for will come. It is just part of the process. Like I always tell you, boys, long term goal. Always think of the long term goal. While you get to the long term goal, you're going to meet other goals. And those small goals will eventually stack up until they reach that end goal. And also remember that each goal will have its own process. So you meet a goal and you're like, yes, I completed the process. Where's my thing? Where's that blessing? But you forget that it is part of the process of a bigger process. So yes, you completed a process, but in reality, the real process is not done. You still have not completed the full process. You just completed a part of a process to get to a goal, and then eventually that goal will help you get to the end goal. So life, God is going to give you what you want. But if you settle, guess what? That is what you will get because you are settling. You're sending a message and saying, I don't fully believe in myself. I don't fully believe in God. I don't fully believe that I'll get what I want, what I am seeking, what I'm working towards. And because I feel that that's not going to happen, I am okay with maybe having half of that thing, maybe having that thing in a lesser value, maybe settling with something that I don't fully want, but because I'm scared that the real thing that I want will not get here, then I'll just settle with this thing. But that's just how I view the world. That's just how I go about it. If settling in some things helps, if settling with other things in life makes you feel at ease, makes you feel calm, then that's your choice. Remember, we live life according to the choices we make, and then the outcome of the lifestyle we have, we cannot really blame anyone else but ourselves because we are the ones creating that lifestyle. We are the ones either accepting to settle or not accepting to settle. That's just how life is. And then the reason why I wrote this journal entry was for the following example that I am going to read. It was during a time where I was just battling with the ego, right? I tell you guys to have a good relationship with the ego, allowing the ego to come out, but knowing that the self, that God dictates your life and control the ego, not the other way around, where you allow ego to control your life, to control your decisions. So it was this one moment where I was just in a way desperate to make an action happen. And I just kind of just had to check myself. And I'm like, dude, like in a way you are settling. And part of that battle was that the ego, right, was like, no, you're not settling because in a sense, you're still living that lifestyle. You're still getting that thing that you want. It's just going to look a little bit different. And if you let ego win, things happen. And then down the road, you're like, I shouldn't have listened to ego. Or, man, why did this not fully work out the way I envisioned it? Because you let ego, which was not aligned with the self, with God's purpose for you, win. So the example, I want a really nice sports car. I know the sports car I want. And I know that I will have that sports car. At the moment, I cannot have that sports car because it's not the smartest idea. Like, yes, I can go get a loan, purchase it, have it. But again, just how I said, right, with ego, I let ego take over, I let emotions take over, and I go and I get the vehicle. And then down the road, things happen. I can't blame anyone else but myself because I'm like, I allowed ego to win. rather than allowing just God, myself to just dictate and allow me to be patient and just keep moving forward until it is the moment to go and get that want. And that's the thing with wants and needs. So with needs, yes, like eventually things work out and all that. But for me with wants, eventually sometimes they don't work out, and then you just gotta kind of start from baseline again, from zero, to kind of get that actual want that you wanted. Where with needs, if you go about it one way with need and you are not able to get that need, you won't have to go all the way to baseline. You won't have to start from zero, because you're working from God, from the self, right, to get that need. And so life, universe, energy, however it is that you want to call it, makes it work for you. That's the difference between a want and a need for me. So going back to the example, I want this nice sports car. At the moment I can't. But what I can do at the same moment is go and get a different nice sports car. I can have this other nice sports car right now, but that would be me settling, and ego would be like, well, no, you're not settling, because technically the concept is that you're driving a nice sports car. Yeah, that is the concept, but my concept is to drive the nice sports car that I want, that I have envisioned myself in, that I have wanted for in my lifestyle. So in a way, yes, I am settling, because I am not going after the nice sports cars that I want. I'm going after the nice sports car that can let ego come out and be like, oh, like I've made it and all that, right? So if I just keep grinding and trusting God, the actual nice sports car that I want will be mine. This is going to happen, and this is why I am writing this. So I wrote this when I was going through that little battle with ego of like, hey, like at the moment we can't get that sports car, but I can settle and go get a different sports car, so that way ego can come out. And you see how it's very important to have a good relationship with the ego, so that way you're the one controlling ego, and ego's not taking over and controlling you. This is the same concept for anything you want in life, whether it be a dream job, a dream partner, a dream house, just pretty much anything in life, and even within your inner world, right? So anything in life, you will have the option to fully go after what it is that you want, or you will have the option to settle. And on both ends, right, settling or not settling, it's a choice that you have to make. If you make the choice to settle, you make the choice, you're settling. If you don't make the choice to settle, and you continue to make that choice to trust God, to trust your purpose until eventually you get that want, it will happen. On both ends, it will happen. On one end, it'll happen, it'll be as settling. On the other end, it'll happen, it might take a little bit longer, but it will happen, and it won't be settling. And you'll have the sensation that comes from choosing settling versus choosing to continue to work so you don't settle. On both ends, you have no one to blame but yourself, because it's a choice you are making. Do not settle. Anything that you settle for will be given. You can't get mad because you are deciding to settle. Settling also translates to not having faith or doubting God and yourself. Whatever you imagine, you can create. Whatever you think in mind, you can bring into your outer world, the way I view the world. So I want to go back to this one right here. Settling also translates to not having faith or doubting God and yourself. By you settling, or by you even starting to consider like, you know what, it doesn't hurt to just kind of settle with this and all that, you're sending that message that you don't believe that the actual thing you want in your life will come your way. And the more you put that message out there, the more doubt will come, the more things around you will make you confirm your choice to settle, if that makes sense. So don't send that message out into the world, to yourself. Do the work, put in work, trust God. That's the first thing for me. First thing, above all, trusting God. God is the one that is going to my example, God is the one that's going to allow me to have my sports car, the one I want. And that is because I am choosing to not settle. And I know this is an example from ego. This is a silly example because there are other things that are far more important than me driving a nice sports car, because on the other hand, I also understand a vehicle, as long as it gets me from point A to point B. But again, take care of your needs so you can enjoy your wants. I'm taking care of my needs, and I also want to enjoy my wants. Part of not settling, right? If in my life I'm like, I'm gonna settle, I'm gonna just take care of my needs, and I'm not gonna go after any wants, that's settling. That's a choice I'm making. But if I say, hey, I am taking care of my needs, I am going to keep putting my needs first, and above all, putting God first, and because I know that's a good formula to get what I want, eventually I will be able to enjoy the wants. Good relationship with the ego. First needs and then wants. So it is a silly example in that aspect of like there's more important things, but I just want this example to kind of speak to you boys, because being a guy in society, and especially being a guy from the community we come from, and not coming from money and all that, of course, why would you not want to enjoy some wants? Especially if you're working for a lifestyle that you want, especially if you're putting in work for something, go all the way through. Why go halfway there and then just be like, it feels like it's never going to happen? You already did work halfway there. Why not just keep going, right? Because you get halfway there, you settle, and then you'll never be able to see how much of a potential you had. You'll never be able to see the end goal of like, if I just toughed it out, if I just kept going, maybe I wouldn't be where I'm at in life, or maybe I wouldn't have settled with this thing, with this other thing, and stuff like that. So don't settle, never settle. Just because you think that what you want won't come does not mean that that is the truth. Tap in, work for it, trust God, your belief system, seek it, believe it, have a relationship with God, with your belief system, and you'll be able to start understanding how not to settle, right? Instructions will come to you, thoughts will come to you, and you'll have your own understanding of what I wrote here, which for me it's to not settle. That will translate to however it speaks to you in your life.